All right, so I'm going to walk you through the ultimate B2B SaaS funnel here from end to end. I'm basically going to talk through all the little pieces here, give you some examples, and at the end I'm going to show you what the application here looks like, because I'm getting a lot of questions about what this should look like. So this is the funnel, high level. Let's dive right into some of these aspects here. So starting off right at the front here, let's look at this front end piece. So you have traffic sources. I mean, this could be content or whatever the case, doesn't really matter. But first things first, you'll kind of notice that there's one main pain aware article. This is kind of your higher level. They don't quite know they're in the best amount of pain yet. They don't quite know the solution yet. These are the folks that typically are not targeted by a lot of companies, because most companies are after that like 3% wallet out ready to buy. But if you're after the folks before that, you're going to be able to get in, indoctrinate them, get them into your way of thinking, and basically show some really solid authority, so that when they do get to the point of being wallet out ready to buy, you're a no-brainer choice, no matter how much advertising your competitors do. So that's kind of this front end here, and it doesn't directly lead to the next step, which is the case study. They have to go through understanding whatever content is here, and then move from there into one of two states of awareness. Either they understand the solution at that point, or they've already kind of understood the solution. They're looking at what is the best solution for me, at which point they're product aware. So this first article, what this might look like is, in the case of a content promotion automation software as a service. So they're basically looking for folks who create a lot of content, and they want to automate the way that they promote content, and think of it as kind of like a done for you type of service. In that case, article 1 might be something like, here's 13 ways to write more engaging content that sells, or here's 17 types of blog content that convert visitors into customers. The goal of this is it has to be able to be consumed in less than 10 minutes at the very high end. Ideally, you want to be more like 5 or 6 minutes. And it has to be a succinct value that you deliver to them. So the next logical step of whatever this article should be is, great, I like that. That solves a need a little bit before the need for me to get into your software product. But I want to read more. And when they read more, they're reading stuff that starts directly relating to, okay, well, here's how our SaaS can help you do this. So if they're already creating content, they might want to know how to create better content, at which point you're tracking them in. And when they want to create better content, that means they're creating content that can then be promoted in a really good way. So, for example, if the software company was like Q.co's like promotion channel, where you basically pay in order to get content promoted, you're not going to pay to get crappy content promoted. You're going to pay to have really awesome content promoted because it gets shared by influencers and everything else. So here I'd want to know, how do I create better content? So from there, you're immediately leading them into one of two articles. It's either, great, you read this, so why don't you read more about, here the solution, where it might be more like, here's 32 creative ways to promote your content to get maximum reach. So you're creating awesome content. Let's talk about how to promote that content in some really creative ways. Or article 3 here might be going right into something like a vague case study, where you then have them opt into a real case study where you go in more detail. So article 3 here might be something like, how company X increased traffic by 468% by automating their content promotion. Or you might go let's show you how to do it yourself, and then we're going to sell you on having us do it through the case study. So it might be an article like, here's a step-by-step guide to automate your content distribution using Zapier, something like that. So with these two articles, the main thing is basically getting them to that next logical step, at which point one of two things happen. Either you're going to retarget them into the case study, or what you're going to do is you're going to use a lead magnet to capture their info, and then use emails to push them into case studies. So if you capture them with a lead magnet, for article 2, this is 32 creative ways to promote your content for maximum reach. Your lead magnet might be, well, here's a content promotion checklist. get the PDF. Nice and simple. Or for Article 3, if it's a step-by-step guide to automate your content distribution using Zapier, then at that point, your lead magnet really is the case study. That just makes total sense. Just, hey, here's how we automated it for this company and how they got this epic result. We're going to walk you through the step-by-step and all the results and, everything that they saw. But, you have to bring them in here first in order to really indoctrinate them before you can kind of pull them through to this level. It's always great, you can always go after buyers and promote all 3 articles if you want to. And I do highly recommend it. I mean, that's the reason why there's errors going out to all 3. But the folks who come in here are going to be the folks with the highest LTV. They're going to spend the most money with you. They're going to stick. They're not going to have a high churn. Similarly, a lot of folks that come through here will be very similar. The folks who come right through here, they're going to approach your tool in a very utilitarian way. And it's basically, it's going to serve a purpose until it stops serving a purpose, at which point they're going to churn. Just to give you an idea of, the consumer behavior and, mindset behind these 3 types of folks. That's really why we take it as 3 content buckets, is because you're attracting 3 types of avatars who will inevitably have different behavior inside of your application. So at this point, we're bringing them in, we're capturing with a case study. This page doesn't need to be ridiculously complex or anything. It's literally, how we did this is your headline. You really just want to go bold. Here's the bold statement. Here's how we did this. Subheadline is just some social proof. So, it's like, here's how company X did this. And we have 58,000 other companies that are doing the same thing. You basically offer some type of screenshot of what they're going to get. So it could be just a graph of, hey, here's their traffic going like crazy, or here's their sales going like crazy as a result of a promotion, or, here's just like a PDF like visualization of what you're going to get. Any mix of those, or ideally both. And then simple opt-in, capture the name, email, because on the next step, you're going to capture more info. So really all that's important here is name and email so that you can follow up if they haven't taken the next step after this. And the next step after this is, great, let's look at the call booking. So they opt in the case study. Next page is immediately, great, you've got this case study. Let's talk about how we're going to help you take this information that you're getting and create a strategy for implementing it into your business. So we're going to basically help you leverage through how this is going to help you, how this is going to help your business, how you're going to actually take action on what you're spending time reading. So, retargeting through is going to help here because inevitably some folks will drop off. Email sequences will help here. Inevitably folks are going to drop off. But the goal is get them to book that call. Immediately after they've booked that call, and here, quick tip, don't let them book more than 5 or 7 days out. 5 days is most ideal. 7 days is, if you really have to. But if you're booking them out any further than that, they're going to forget who you are. They're going to forget what that call is for. You're going to hop on that call, and it's almost going to be like a cold call. So don't let that happen. Also, if you don't currently have a call booking software, use Schedule Once or Calendly or something that lets you send reminders. Schedule Once has it all built in where you can send a reminder 24 hours before, 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before by SMS and email. And it's all built into their one system, which is kind of nice. But if you already have the tools to do that, like you already have a CRM that does SMS and everything else, just book them through Calendly. It's nice and cheap, and then send them over to your CRM and do follow-ups, SMS and email, just saying, hey, looking forward to the call. We're going to talk to you this date, this time, 24 hours from now. Do another follow-up 15 minutes before the call. Hey, just want to make sure you're still good for the call. Click here if you need to reschedule, but otherwise, I'm going to see you in 15 minutes, that type of thing. So get them to book that call. Immediately after the call, hey, let's get you qualified. So really the positioning here is we don't take on all that many calls. We only want to talk to the folks we can really help. And if you're not someone who can really help, well, then we don't want to talk to you. I mean, pretty bluntly, that's what it is. So the pre-call application is twofold there. One is they need to buy in by spending some time filling out that application. if they haven't bought in to having that call with you, they're not going to jump on that call and be respectful. They're going to basically jump on that call and they're going to be kind of shitty. They're not really going to be primed for selling. The other element of it is it's kind of like pre-authority positioning, but also just getting the information you need in order to make an effective sale. So you need to understand what some of their objections are going to be going into the call. You need to understand where their business is at and whether you can actually help them. And like, no, you won't be able to help everybody. No matter what your SaaS is, unless you're giving people 100 years back on their life, you won't be able to help everybody. And it's good to understand what folks you can help and what folks you can't through the data you capture here. And so to give you an example, like this is what this might look like. Let me like scale down my screen here a little bit. So this is what it might look like. Step 2, complete this application. And I kind of tailored this again for the content promotion automation SaaS. So secure your breakthrough content promotion strategy session. Fill out this form so you can prepare for your session. And if we don't get an application, we're going to cancel your call. Nice and simple. This is basically just, further driving home. If you're not going to do this, well, we're not going to take the time to help you on that call. And that's the positioning that call is. It's not, we're going to sell you. It's, well, let's jump on the call. Let's talk about your business. Let's see how we can help you. And let's give you some actionable information you can take away on that call, whether you buy or not. So name, email, the basics, name, email, what's your call preference, how long you've been following us, what's your phone number, Skype ID if you want to connect that way, what's your company's Facebook page. This is just, you can change this with anything. So maybe like what's your company's blog URL, over here, what's your company's website. This is so you can do the pre-research to understand, in this case, content promotion SaaS, you need to know like what content they're creating, whether it's a good fit for the platform and all that. But also down here, you're going to start asking questions about like, how does this relate to what you're doing now? Like, is this really going to be ingrained in the strategy you have? So tell us about your business. Who do you serve? Is it a market we can work with? Do you have some planned out strategy around your content, an editorial calendar of like how you're targeting the really buyer leads, or are you just targeting everybody? Like, what's your strategy there? Do you currently like prepare and keep track of your content promotion, or is this something brand new? If it's something brand new, then you might not have the greatest sales assets on that call to be able to start selling on like increase in revenue and stuff like that. How much content do you currently publish on a monthly basis? For content promotion, inevitably you need to create new content all the time. How many videos do you publish in the case that maybe the SaaS also promotes videos? And then over here is kind of the core question. It's the why are you currently stuck? So you're seeking us out because you're currently stuck on something. Be honest, why are you currently stuck there? And what's stopping you from moving to the next level? So in this case, it might be something like, what do you think is stopping you from driving more traffic and revenue with your content? And it really is, the more honest they are here, the better clarity you have in order to position the right way. But also just the more clarity you have on why they're getting on that phone, so that you can figure out whether you can really help them or not. And if you can help them, just how much you can help them. If they're not being honest here and they're not saying like, we're stuck because we don't have time. Our marketing guy is always saying they never have time for content promotion. So our content's kind of going out there and we're spending a lot of money on it and it's just sitting there. Like, if they're not being that blunt and that honest about it, chances are they don't really have a problem that's going to be pain enough to be able to do, what I'd call like a non-sale sale. Like, otherwise you're going to have to hard sell them if they're not being honest here. And normally those are the shittiest clients. Everybody knows that. So over here, then, finally is basically, great. What's your goal? I honestly couldn't think of more than 2 for this. Increase revenue dramatically, increase traffic dramatically. And another is usually something like, okay, I want to get like a high level goal out of it. So like what I have in one of my strategy application flows like this is increase revenue, decrease churn. And the last one is a strategic framework for growth. So I want a long-term framework to work from. So that's kind of, depending on who comes into this, whether it's a co-founder or the direct founder that's day-to-day in marketing, like they'll have different goals. So I just want to understand what that goal of the call is so I know what to talk about. And then finally down here, further qualification and authority positioning. We only accept a limited number of clients per month. We only select applicants based on the folks we can really help. So this is kind of more driving home, like, we're not just going to sell you shit. I mean, that's not the point of why we're having this call. We want to make sure you're a great fit. And if you're not a great fit, we're going to tell you. But if you are a great fit, then we need to understand about, like, how fast you're ready to get forward. And this is the kind of like non-verbal or like accepting that, if they really like what they hear in the call, they're going to move forward. So, how soon are you going to get started? And do you have the resources to invest in your business's growth? If the answer to this is absolutely not, cancel this call. Don't even bother wasting the time. If you're just starting out with this funnel though, I usually say, take these calls anyways, because they're going to be good for just understanding objections. You record those calls, you take all the questions they ask. Those are your new objections to build into a sales page or build into your copy. But I mean, otherwise, like, these are just waste of time calls if they're answering absolutely not. If they're answering yes, they're like, great, yeah, I have money, I have an idea of what it might cost, and I think we're going to be a good fit. You want to get that buy-in. So that's the pre-call application. And then moving right over, you have them booked. Here, maybe you want to drop them into an email sequence just, until they get to the call. But one nice little thing I like to do at the end here is, if they reach this book page, that means they filled out all this stuff. What I do is a nice, like, retargeting ad. I do it across Google Display, Facebook, and LinkedIn, everything. It's a simple ad where I'm just saying, hey, thanks for booking. I'm really looking forward to our call. Looking forward to talking to you in the next few days. And it's literally just a reach ad. I pay like $1 a day per channel to run this. And it's really cool because typically on the phone, that also helps them remember who I am. But on the phone, I usually get folks saying like, hey, I saw your ad afterwards. It's kind of cool. It was also kind of weird because I've never seen an ad like that. I've never seen an ad without a call to action, where the main goal of the ad is just, be relevant, and be prevalent in their life. So that's basically what this funnel looks like. I want to know from you guys watching, do you want to see a template of this built out? So much like this is just like a landing page template, I can build this entire funnel as a template in something like ClickFunnels, where you can basically swipe the entire thing. The only thing I might omit is like email sequences, because this is going to be dependent entirely on like what you're offering them and all. Maybe I can give you like some swipes to work with here for the case study at least. But let me know if you want to see a template of this. I can build one out that you can just swipe away and start editing for your business. Let me know in the comments below, or by reaching out to me, whatever works. But I hope this gave you a really good insight into how this funnel can work and how you can utilize this.